I went to the planet Venus, and the surface is absolutely livable. There were forests, there were animals and structures that were on the surface. You could go into a waterfall and you could feel the love from the water. Can you imagine being in the shower and the water is communicating with you? You want to go to Venus? You get in a portal, boom, you're in Venus.
You start talking about things that question people's reality, they're gonna get mad. They're going to get frustrated. It's kind of like the Matrix. You know, when anybody can become an agent of the Matrix, or like in Inception, you know, when they start realizing that somebody's changing the dream or altering the reality, and they turn on them and they attack them. That's exactly what the fuck is happening. So you gotta understand that you can't force knowledge on nobody. You have to want to see the truth. That's the only way somebody's gonna see the truth, is if they want to see it.
You know, I've been doing this work for 45 years. And over that time, I invented my own technique. Because 45 years ago, nobody was doing anything like this. There were no books out. There was nothing to show you how to do anything. So I had to invent my own technique on how to do this. And gradually, over that time, I began to find out new things that came in that nobody else had ever discovered. So as it went along, eventually I had this other force, I guess you would say, that started coming in to the sessions. Now I say it's the greatest force in the universe. There's nothing greater than it. It has absolute power. It can answer any question anybody wants. It can also have instant healing of anything immediately, that quickly. So this is the part that I work with. And I didn't know what to call it. I began calling it the subconscious, because I didn't have a name for it. And they said, we don't care what you call us, we don't have a name anyway. We'll work with you. But some people say we are communicating with the higher self, the oversoul, the higher consciousness. Some people call it the universal consciousness. But all of those names mean something big and huge.
Venus is the planet of assessing the value of things outside of us. But it's also assessing what value that we have within us. And in this process, we're trading for things outside of us with what we already have. So Venus is ruling this exchange process that we make every day. And so Venus is also the force of making decisions about what path to take in life in general, the larger decisions, but also daily decisions that we're making about cost and benefits. What is something going to cost? Because nothing in life is free. Everything costs money, time, or energy, or dedicating ourselves to something long term. And what are we receiving in return for what we're paying? And so Venus is usually mentioned as the planet of love and relationships. And we're going to discuss why Venus is the planet of love and relationships. But first, we're going to get to the core force that Venus is performing on a day-to-day basis, this core assessment process that we do of what is valuable in our life. And also, as we go through this video, we're going to see that Venus and Mercury are working hand in hand together as two forces. And that's because they're both working and navigating this external world, and then what is our position in relation to the external things in life. We use Mercury to manage our life, to make things run smoothly, to make sure that things are compartmentalized in the required places. And we also use our Mercury to communicate with the world and to exchange information. And Mercury is also trying things out, experimenting with the options at play. But when we're experimenting and we're seeing possibilities, we then come to a juncture. We then come to a fork in the road and we say, okay, I need to make a decision about what to do, what path to take, and what are the costs and benefits of those paths. That's the Venus force in us working. We're using Mercury to do this kind of playful experimentation, but we can't be experimenting our whole life. We have to make decisions about what things to do. That's our Venus force at play. Someone with a good Venus is going to be decisive about what they choose. They're going to have clear understandings of why and what they're doing, and what the details and the costs of those paths that they're taking entail.